Good morning, everyone. This is WA6LDI, Net Control for the South Orange Amateur Radio Association, Sunday morning 40-meter net. This is an open net. All licensed amateurs are welcome to check in. Thus far, let me see who we have here. Close this other thing down here. Okay. Thus far, we have WA6ED, and we have KG6FCT, and WA6CDT. Sorry for the delay here in response. I've been trying to get the SDR up and running. I understand Mike is out there, KE6IWM. I was not able to hear him on the radio, and it says that the conditions here, I guess local or whatever, is not too great. So bear with me while I try to get the SDR up and running as well. Okay, again, I've heard WA6CD. He's first on the list. Then we have Lou, KG6FCT. And Mike, I believe, was next. But again, I'm not sure. I wasn't able to hear him. So we're going to wait until we hear. He was right after EDT. All right, let me see who else we can bring on board at this point. Again, this is WA6LDI Net Control for the SOARA Sunday morning 40-meter net. This is an open net, open to all licensed amateurs. Again, thus far we have WA6ED first on the list here. Then we have KG6FCT, W6EDT, and KE6IWM. Do we have any other stations wishing to check in at this time? If so, please come now.
N6 JCM.
Phil.
N6 JCM. WA9 EIW.
AC6FCY. Okay, I heard KR6ISS on 6JCN and WA9EDW. I believe, WA9, what is your complete call again?
Whiskey Alpha 9 Echo India Whiskey.
Okay, got you that time. WA9EIW. Any other stations?
KC6, Foxtrot 0 Yankee.
Okay, nothing heard. This is the lineup we have. We have WA6ED, top of the list. KG6FCT is next. W6EDT. Then KE6IWM. KR6ISS. And 6JCM and WA9EIW. No specific topic today, so we're going to toss it up, and you guys can chat whatever you'd like to, whatever topic you'd like to bring up, that'd be fine. So let's go to the top of the list, WA6CD to pick it up. This is WA6LDI.
WA6ED. Good morning, everybody. And I'm just sitting here. I figured out how to print better prints in polycarbonate by slowing it down, so that helps. And I should have tried that a long time ago. But as far as radios are concerned, I haven't done a bunch of ham radio lately other than the net, so I need to play around with the radios today. So maybe I'll get on there and see what's going on out in the radio domain. That's about it right now. Over to Lou, KG6FCT. Good morning, Lou, WA6ED.
Well, good morning, Ed, and good morning, Phil. Thank you, Phil, for doing the net. And after WA9EIW, I heard Charlie, KC6FZY. So you might add him to the bottom of the list, Phil. And that was KC6FZY. And I don't know where he is, but when it's his turn, we'll find out. And I am busy learning to use a nano VNA, and still wondering on the setups, just which I want to select for each trace on format. So I'm wrestling with that a little bit. I have to get very familiar with it. And with that, I will pass it on to W6 EDT. Take it, Dale.
Well, thank you, Lou. Appreciate that. And I also heard Charlie in there. Local signals are kind of weak. I can hear you real strong. Mike's pretty good. But Ed and Phil and Chris were kind of a little bit weak. NJ6, I forget now the call. But anyway, he came in really well. And then fellow WA9 was really strong also. So interesting conditions today. Solar Flux Index is only 112, so that's I guess maybe why. Let's see what's going on. So I've been playing around a little bit with the mesh stuff and just confusing myself. I had measured the output of these little dongles at about plus 22 dBm when I first got them, and then just now, or not just now, but yesterday I measured them again because I put an antenna up on the roof, and it's only outputting a little bit over 8 dBm. It's obviously software settable, so I wonder if there's some kind of change in the software, and I don't know why. And for that, I'll pass it to Mike, KE6IWM from W6GVT.
Okay, thank you. KE6IWM, Mike and Lone Pine. And pretty nice weather we've been having. It's just about 60 degrees right now. Low is only 48 today, so staying warm all night. I could tell last night, too. It's quite a bit warmer. I still have, like, winter blankets on my bed, so don't need them right now. Yesterday we had a high of 86. That's 86. And that's up there. It's going to be warmer today and up in the 90s by Thursday, I believe it was predicting. So, and tomorrow I've got to take a drive to Lancaster. That's about 140 miles from me. Medical for my tenant, so she can't drive, so I end up doing that for her. She has no one else to do it, so should be paid more for that, but I'm not. Let's see, anything else going on? They had a couple of good nets before. The San Joaquin Valley Aries net's always a good one, and most of those people come over to the Bishop net at 3.950, so that's easy to remember, 395. And had a couple of good nets talking about Aries groups, and we had a discussion of the Red Cross, how it's been reorganized a little bit. So a lot of good people there, a lot of good discussions, and everyone's talking about how good the weather is. So I'll see what I have next time around. So I'll turn it over to Chris, KR6ISS from KE6IWM.
I believe KE6, let me see here, KC6FZY is in there somewhere. Charlie, if you copy, please pick it up, sir.
This is KC6FZY. I think Chris is next on the list. Chris should be there.
Does anyone hear Charlie?
Transmitting.
Even there.
Okay, thank you.
I think this is Relay N62TN. FZY Charlie was saying he thought Chris was next on the list. So I'll turn it back to you, Phil, N6GTN.
Okay, real fun. Yeah, I've got this this log here really screwed up. This is what confuses me. Going back and forth between the rig here and the SDR, and sometimes that really screws me up. So, okay, maybe I should wait until everyone checks in, put them on the paper there, and then after everyone checks in, then get them into the right order here. All right, Chris, I have you number 8 on the list, but we'll follow what's going on here, so you'll be after, KR6ISS to pick it up, WA6LDI. Sorry for the confusion, gentlemen. There appears to be more and more confusion coming up here. Okay, I guess it's my turn. This is KR6ISS. Well, yeah, I've been very busy with non-amateur radio stuff this last week. Yesterday, actually Friday, I drove all the way down to Julian to do a hike and a meeting with the Nature Conservancy, one of their reserves down there, and a 4-mile hike on the hot day, and it was not too bad because of the altitude, and it was in the morning, so it was not too awful, but it was a fairly stiff hike. It was I'd say 700-800 feet of vertical climb. But anyway, it's a very nice preserve, Santa Isabel Reserve on the way to Julian. It's a very well-preserved valley and old savanna-type valley. It's not been developed or houses everywhere or anything, and so they've done a nice job of preserving that whole area, keeping it more or less natural-looking. And so I found out what was going on with Nature Conservancy, and they're trying very hard to do connectivity to try to find some way to connect up the preserve so that they aren't isolated, and animals can migrate and get genetically mixed and so on. All these technicalities that most people probably don't really hear about, but that's I do. But anyway, that's what happened. I'm going to have to turn my bacon here, so I'm going to turn it on. I think JC Ed is next. Jim, just take it. This here is 697.
Thanks, Chris. Pardon me, guys. Yeah, I think I was next, but Phil, I was negligent, so it's not your fault. At the conclusion of my transmission, would you call out who's next after me, and then I will, next time around, I'll turn it over to them. Similarly, not too much radio stuff going on. I am interested in the Kenwood Tri-Band, and I'm just wondering if anybody, as we go through the list, has any experience or has used the THD 75A Tri-Band. I know it's an expensive radio, but it looks pretty attractive to me, and I think it's kind of top of the line. In addition to the Tri-Band, it has D-Star, APRS, built-in GPS, and that kind of stuff. And let's see, doing some flying stuff, but I'll maybe cover that in a subsequent transmission. And it's interesting, Mike, when you were just before the net, I put on a headset and I still couldn't hear you. And then when you transmitted on the net, you were coming in 10 over 9. And I hear everybody really well. Charlie, I hear you pretty well, a little bit weak, and everybody else I've got on the radio. So, Phil, this is the end of my transmission. Can you call out who's next?
Okay, this thing's got messed up here. I heard a WA9EIW. Well, this is what I have. I have, so far on my list here, I have Ed first, then we had Lou, then we had Dale, then we had Mike, then we have Charlie, KC67DY, then I have WA9EIW, and then I had M6JCN, Jim, and then Chris, KR6ISS. So as you can see, towards the end, things got messed up for me, so please bear with me. If you guys know it's your turn and I'm getting it wrong, please let me know. So let's hear from WA9EIW. I believe that's Steve. Pick it up, sir.
Thank you. This is WA9EIW here in Seaside, California, where it's a beautiful sunny morning. And Lou, I am also struggling with the Nano VNA. I bought one last year, and I watched several YouTubes on it. I got it out day before yesterday and successfully isolated the trace to the yellow line and assigned it just to SWR. And the purpose was to test out a new dipole antenna, which I'm transmitting on now. And I'm getting I've cut the legs of the dipole to 32 feet on each side into a high wattage balun, 1-to-1 balun at the feed point up above my chimney on a mast. I had some help put up the day before yesterday, or no, it was yesterday. And we got the SWR down to just nothing. So it's just great. And so I'm getting a full 500 watts out. And before I had a really high SWR on my loop, which works really well on other frequencies. And so, Yeah, I found this YouTube on the Nano VNA where I got all the settings right up to the point that I was getting the SWR, but I wasn't getting the trace registering. And I think my problem was I didn't put the step increments in, the value. There was one value I didn't get put in. So good luck to you on that, and good luck to me on that, because I think it's a wonderful little tool. WA9EIW, and I'm going to send it back to Phil. I don't know who's after me.
Okay, right.
FCT.
Thank you. Well, this is what I have on my log here. It's electronic log. I've got WA6ED first on the list. Then we have KG6FCT second. Third, I have W6EDT. Then I have Mike KE6IWM. After Mike, I have Charlie KC6FZY. After Charlie, we have Steve WA9EIW. Then we have Jim N6JCN. And then Chris, KR6ISS. This is how I was logging it as you guys were coming in. And like I said, in the middle there somewhere, things got messed up. So please bear with me at this point. I really appreciate it. All righty, let's go to the top of the list here. WA6ED to pick it up. This is WA6LDI.
WA6ED, yep. Several times on the Nano VNA and SOARA Saturdays, I would get confused and calibrate S21, I believe, instead of S11. And most of the time you want to use S11 for SWR and stuff like that. You only use the other one when you're testing filters and band test filters and things like that. So it's one of those things that you can get confused. There's a lot of options too. And on the newer 7-inch displays, the menu system is a little bit different, and I toggled between the two different ports, and that was bad. So you got to be careful you're on the right port too. And I learned that a few times doing demos. And I said, how come this is not working? But yeah, you get a lot of options, you get a lot of responsibility. So there is a book out, and there's a board for the Nano VNA, a test board, a demo board. And there's like a download PDF you can get for it too, that goes with the demo board. And that's very educational on how to use it, taking it to the next step. But if you just want it for return loss or SWR, just stick to S11, I believe. Okay, over to Lou, KG6FCT. Take it away, Lou. WA6ED.
Well, WA6ED in the group. This is KG6FCT. And Phil, you changed the order quite a bit. So I'll rewrite my list. And it's sure different from what you just announced. So we'll I'll keep trying. And Ed, I'd sure appreciate it if you could email me those two items you just mentioned. I have the RF demo kit, so I'd love the information on that. And the Nano VNA that I got, I didn't go spend the money for the 7-inch. I got a 4-inch. And I got a VNA-F space V2. And if you have any information on that and can email me, I have not been able to find an English version. It gives me it came with a link to a website which I went to, and it's all in Chinese, and that's Chinese to me. So again, my Nano VNA is a -F V2 4-inch model with buttons on the side, not that little rotary switch. And with that, after me, I have Dale, W6EDT. This is KG6FCT.
Well, thank you, Lou. Yeah, and I too gotta reorder my list here. But one of the problems with nano VNA, not problems, but one of the challenges is that they're not all the same, and the firmware is not necessarily all the same, and so they operate slightly differently, and that causes some confusion when people are trying to use them. I've looked at directions on how there's some, people gave a tutorial on. If you want to do this, here's how you do it. On my Nano VNA, which I got from Nano RFE, the originators of the Nano VNA, the menu system is just a little bit, it's subtly different, and that makes it slightly more complicated, but the basic principles are all the same, and it sounds like they continue to evolve the menu system over time. I know that the larger screen models have yet a different menu system. So don't feel discouraged or that you're not doing anything wrong. It's just the way those things work. But once you get it figured out for your particular version, it'll stay the same unless you update the firmware, which probably you'll never do because there's no particular reason to do that most of the time. So, but they are a great tool. I find them to be good enough for amateur radio use, and definitely they are a great tool to have, to carry around with you, really, when you're even doing portable operations, quota and stuff like that. So anyway, I think next up on the list for me is KE6IWM. Go ahead and take it, Mike.
Okay, thanks, Dale. KE6IWM. Yeah, I know Dale was in front of me and Chris was after me, so that's the only part of the roster right now, the list I'm worried about. So I think I've got it right. So thanks a lot, Dale. Let's see. Any surfing enthusiast, wow. Thursday, there's a big south swell that came in, and the wedge was just pumping. I just received a video from a friend of mine in Newport. Let's write down, wedge. And, wow, it's big, and a lot of people out, too. And, yeah, I really missed going down and seeing the surging surf when it's happening like it was a couple of days ago. So. And it's crowded out there. A lot of board surfers, too. I remember long ago they sort of outlawed boards there, except for belly boards, things like that, knee boards maybe. But there's stand-up surfers at the wedge right now. Or on this video I'm watching. Good video, too. So it's someone, James O'Brien, Max Beach, something like that. So that's surfing news. Let's see. Up here, not too much more to report about this, but the VIA. Yeah, I've picked up an antenna analyzer after I moved up here. I was setting up antennas. I figured I'd get one, so be sure. And then I find out about these guys and how less they are, and they're supposed to do the same thing. So I thought about it, but I already had the antenna analyzer, and that works for most everything I'm sure to do about it. I'm sure there's probably some other things it does, but I never investigated it very far, other than to realize it was a lot cheaper than the antenna analyzer I bought. So, oh well. If I ever need to get one again, maybe I'll think about that. I did just check up a 40-meter mobile antenna on my truck, Hustler resonator, and, just had to put a mount on and run the cable and run a ground wire down to the frame of the truck, which I didn't have the right ground wire, so I've got to get a better ground wire and do that. But hopefully, one of the Friday, if the net, the 40-meter net in the morning was good propagation, I was going to check in from that. But when I found out how poor the propagation was, I didn't try it. But I'll get out and try it. I want to get out and do some stuff in the mornings, and maybe I can check into the 40-meter morning net that way. Then the sun comes up so early. It will pretty soon. Right now it's been sunny. There looks like a few high clouds, but not too thick. So should be a nice day up here. And after the net and finish my coffee, I'll be doing a good long dog walk. So not too much more this round, so I'll turn it over to Chris. Carrier 6 ISS from KE6 IWM. Take it, Chris.
Okay, Mike, it's Carrier 6 ISS. Well, today is a whole other hobby. I play in with a Scottish music group among my myriad other folk music pursuits, and I've been with that group since 1984, and meets up in Pasadena, so it's getting to be a little bit far away in my driving temperament, but I'll gut it out another day and another year. They do a big concert in an auditorium in Manhattan Beach next month. They bring in, some really fancy performers from out of town. So it's kind of an interesting event. But boy, it's not fun driving to Pasadena. They never completed the Long Beach freeway. It dead ends before it gets there. And so it's actually easier to go by the 605 to the Foothill Freeway and come all the way back from the east back in there. It's at least an hour and a half trek, maybe close to 2 hours. But, it's an interesting bunch. But now getting to be a little bit far away. Yeah, I'm starting to be concerned about my trip to my cruise in Japan in a month. Japan's very dependent on Middle Eastern oil, and I don't have any idea how that's going to work out. Or I may have to pay some huge surcharge on top of what I've already paid. I'm going to have to talk to the travel agent about what it's looking like. It looks grim. Anyway, my waffle's about ready, so I'll send it on from KCN. Take it, Jim. Here, 6 ISS.
Thanks, Chris. You better get on that waffle. It sounds pretty good. I haven't had breakfast this morning. I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning. I get on the computer, and it's kind of addictive sometimes, jumping from topic to topic. So before I know it, it's 1:30, time to go to bed, and then it's hard to get up. Along the lines of, and I'm totally mixed up about the order, but I think I know who's next now. I'm repairing a strobe power supply, and it drives strobe lights on the wingtips of this old 1952 aircraft I have. So it's kind of interesting. You can't buy them anymore. Everybody's going to LED units, and I kind of like keeping the old stuff in service. But one thing I found out right away is just like for power supplies and amplifiers, watch out for the voltage. These things have 500 or 600 volts in them, and a couple of huge capacitors that are, I think, like 220 microfarads, 600 volts. And so my next project is I'm terrible at soldering on circuit boards, and these things are really small. But I've got to replace a couple of big caps and probably 2 or 3 transistors. And so it's not terribly complex as far as the power supply itself, but they're so small, and they're very light, but kind of hard to work on. So you've got to really have nimble fingers, which I really don't. And so I think that's about it. Again, it sounds like nobody else has experience with that Kenwood tri-bander. And I understand why, because it's very, very expensive. And I think that's about it. It's going to be a high overcast day here today, and good day to work on taxes, I guess. So I think that Steve in Seaside, WA9EIW, is next on my original list, so hopefully I don't have that screwed up. Steve, if you've copied me, go ahead and take it.
This is WA9EIW. Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear here in Seaside. It's just one more thing about the Nano VNA. I have the Dash H, Lou, and it's even smaller than yours. It's just under 3 inches, and I only paid about $47 for it, so I'm thinking about buying a larger screen. But I think it's fully functional. It's just the operator that needs a little work on it. I think I got all the settings right except for one, and I'll be curious to see how my antennas check out once on the SWR, that is. The other thing I had to share for the group is my wife asked me to go to a STAR party last night, which is an astronomy group that met out in Garland Ranch Regional Park out at Carmel Valley. And it was a lot of fun. There were about 5 or 6 high-end telescopes there, and we looked at Jupiter and could see the moons clearly around Jupiter and the color patterns on Jupiter just looking through the lens of those telescopes. And I had my iPhone with its locates the space station on it, and we just happened to have the space station come into view, and so I was able to announce everybody to look over into down low on the horizon as we saw the space station pass by. And the moderator of the group had one of these laser pointers that's safe for airplanes but can point out things in the sky. I don't know exactly how those lasers work, but it was quite a fun night. With that, I think Jim is after me, and I don't have the call sign, but WA9EIW back to whoever's next after me. I think it's Jim.
I think it's Chris.
It's Charlie. Charlie follows you, Steve. This is KG6FCT. Take it, Charlie.
Yeah,
So let's go to the top of the list. WA6CD to figure out WA6LDI.
Somebody don't hear Charlie's talking.
I don't hear him at all.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay, thanks, guys. Yeah, still can't hear me, and I'm picking everybody up fine on the SDR. What I wanted to talk about was I have some equipment from WB6GGF that passed away about 6 months ago. And you've got 2 Kenwood radios, 520s, and a Kenwood 440, and some other things, but I don't think they work. And I've been working lately on trying to find out some people that repair those. And apparently there are a couple shops here, and some in LA, and maybe a few across the United States. And I'd like to get those things fixed. They're really good radios. They're all analog. They're not digital. But then the real problem is, what do I do with them? I'm going to, if it doesn't too expensive, so maybe if it is, I'll just bring them into a SOARA meeting sometime and let people take a look at them and see if they really put a price on it. But if they wanted to donate a little bit for the wife of WB6GGF, that would be nice, but not a big deal there. That's kind of what I've been working on, trying to take care of all his equipment. And as far as the VNA goes, I used, one, the Chinese thing. Yeah, that was the original thing. And I think you can get a translated version sometimes. Microsoft will translate it for around. You can find the English translation. I use the software on my home computer too, when I use the chessboard. It's really nice. I can't remember the name of that software, but if you can get hold of it, then you can plug it into your computer and you get a big screen. You don't have to fuss around with the little things on there and so forth. It makes it a lot easier. And my problem with the calibration was finding a 50 ohm load that I could use to calibrate that. Yeah, I used a 47 ohm resistor for a long time, and I finally found a small 50 ohm resistor. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to you, Lou. Maybe you can tell Phil who might be next. First, it's probably Phil. I was at the tail end. KG6F to CY, back to you, Lou. KG6FCT.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. And I will turn it back to Phil, WA6LDI, and Charlie's at the bottom of the list. WA6LDI, Phil.
WA6LDI. I apologize to everyone. I don't know how this thing got messed up. Going back and forth between the SDR and the rig, and somehow the log got messed up. So I apologize. WA6CD, I believe, is next. WA6LDI.
Well, thank you, Bill, and thanks for running the net and WA6ED. I think I'm going to get ready for the 10-meter net. That's coming up here on 28.415, plus or minus, depending on band and contest conditions and things like that. And then, anyway, good luck on that log there, Phil. And hopefully it'll be straightened out better for next time. Let's get it over to Liz, KG6FCT, WA6ED.
Well, thank you, Ed, WA6ED. This is KG6FCT. Since we're so close to the top, I'm just going to make a call. Is there any other stations wishing to join the SOARA Sunday morning net? I did not hear anything, so I've talked a lot about this VNA, and I am sure having fun with it, and we'll play with that demo board. And I've been watching Up a Storm, all the YouTubes on it, and there sure is many, and I do see the different menus, and I like one, or not the menus, but all the different views of it. And they do have different menus, and I'm still trying to get a copy of my menu that's on mine. It's interesting when one of the examples goes to something in the menu that I can't find. But I won't bore you anymore. Nothing else. I'll just turn it over to Dale. W6EDT. This is KG6FCT.
Well, thank you, Lou, and thank you, Phil, for running the net under these relatively difficult conditions. Yeah, I agree. The Nano VNA gives you a great insight into what your antennas are doing and feed lines and things like that, and you can use them for many other things, depending on the kind of thing you're trying to do. You can use it to tune filters to some degree. You can find breaks in cables. You can use the GR function, which I think is supported in most software, so pretty cool. And Jim, with respect to the D75, I'm looking at that as well. As soon as it becomes available, I think I'm going to go down and buy one, because I think they have just exactly the set of features I would like. And, my only thought is I really want to buy two, because I want to have one base radio. I really want a D-Star radio. I've been using a THC-74. It's my D-Star radio, and it's on an external antenna. It works well enough. But the D75 looks like a great radio. It pretty much checks all the boxes. The only thing that it doesn't have that I wish it did have was full V-Line. Because then you could use it for satellite work. But, that's okay. It's still pretty darn good, I think, overall. So with that, I will pass it to KE6IWAM. Take it away, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Dale. KE6IWM, Mike at Lone Pine. And signals come way up since the beginning of the net. Well, I really couldn't hear you direct before or when you started the net. But right now you're peaking at 15 over S9 and lose 20 over. So, the signals came way up. And Dale, you're up there 15 over, and Ed's right at S9. And I really did look at when the other stations were transmitting to see what it was. But the propagations have gotten a lot better, so that's good. I am also on a different antenna that I've recently been using. This is a center set dipole that's 40-80 meter. It has coils in it. And we got the heavy rains. It wiped out the antenna. And I've been planning to take it down and refurbish it or replace it. So I checked it just recently to this morning, and I'm getting good SWR out of it. So it seems to be working okay. I'm doing, maybe 300 watts with the amplifier on. And when I was using it before, it kicked the amp right off bad SWR. So I think the warm weather has cooked it and got it in better shape. So hopefully everyone hears me. And although the other antenna I used earlier in 80 was inset 10 through 80, and that works pretty good, but it's not real high off the ground. So a little bit higher might be a better antenna, but for 80 it works fine, which is a tough band anyway. You need a lot of room for that. So okay, not too much more right now. It's 8:42, so I think there'll be one more round, but if not, I'll say 73s. If there is another one, I'll talk to you that time. So I'll turn it over to Chris, KR6 ISS, KE6 IWM.
Okay, Mike, this is KR6 ISS. So I've been heavily working, doing survey work. We finished monumenting the final right-of-way of the widening of the 405 from Costa Mesa to Long Beach, and now I have to make up a detailed record of survey that shows where the stuff is and how we established it, and that's quite a puzzle. I'm using the old original pre-construction survey I did in 2015. That's how long this whole thing's gone on for. In the basis, but then I have to show what additional stakes were taken and how the deed was described from and what was put in the ground and so on. It's almost like a graphic puzzle. It's probably going to take me this summer to get through this. But what do I care? They're paying me almost $80 an hour to do it. I'm a senior land surveyor. So that's what's going on most of my time. So I'm gonna go on with all my various hobbies and try to juggle everything. I'm not so sure what's happening with OC Hart. I think there may be some givings about whether it's going to continue or not. I don't know. It seems to be fizzling out. I don't know whether Dale has any inkling about what's happening with him. It seems like it's not doing too well. I'm not going to be able to have anything to do with this Say-What Drill coming up. It was right during my trip to Japan. Just late April. So, I'm not sure where the status of all that hospital stuff is right now. It looks a little iffy. Anyway, I'm going to say 73. I got a busy day today. Say 73 and pass it on to Jim. Take it, Jim. Here, 6 ISS.
Thanks, Chris. And before you go, sorry to break protocol, but I'm just curious on your surveying. With the advances in surveying, do you still use rod men? I guess it would be rod people now, or is it all differential GPS and you pretty much do it by changing your station and survey just independently with one person?
Normally, when you're doing boundary monumentation, you do that with total station because RTK type GPS is not as accurate and okay for construction staking, but not okay for final boundary monuments in California. So they go out with toll stations and the two-man crew and very carefully done by angel reading instruments and so on, not GPS. Back to you, Karen, I think.
Thanks, Chris. And again, Phil, sorry for breaking protocol. And Phil, don't get discouraged at all. We all really appreciate you hosting the net and going between SDR and the radio and trying to keep people straight and call signs straight. You're doing a fantastic job, so really appreciate it. Charlie, with the old gear, I think it's really great that you're helping out the wife of the Silent Key. And with regard to some of that gear, I think you mentioned a Kenwood 440. That's what I've been using for 10 years. And from a SOARA option, I have I think this one was actually from Heiko, had this piled up in the back of his place, a Kenwood TS440S. And so it's a mid-80 hybrid rig, and it works great with or without amplifiers. It's been pretty trouble-free. I think this unit has the history of where they had some conductive glue that over time you start seeing dots at the readout on the display, but it's been trouble-free. So trying to keep some of that gear in play is a great idea, and it makes it really affordable for new hands or for backup radios or what have you. And I too will hang around. Not even sure what time it is. Like I said, I just got up, but I think it's probably something like 10 before the hour. And so, without further ado, I will turn it over to Steve in Seaside. And Steve, because I'm going through bills right now, I lost your call sign. So Steve in Seaside, pick it up.
Thank you. This is Stephen Seaside, WA9EIW. I don't have anything else to add to the group. Thanks for picking me up. Again, I'm not sure who comes after me. I tried to give it to Jim last time, but I think they said it goes to Chris. But I want to turn it back to Phil just to make sure that you get it to the right person. And thanks to everybody again for a great net. WA9EIW73.
Okay, real fine, Steve. WA9EIW and the group WA6LDI. Well, I believe you did turn it back to me, and I don't believe we missed anyone. The assistance guys that you've been giving me, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And it looks like we have time for one more go around here before we close the net. I'm definitely having some technical difficulties here to add to my other issue. Let's go to the top. Well, I believe Ed's already signed, so let's go to Lou, KG6FCT, to pick it up. I guess we can use this as our 73 go around. So KG6FCT, WA6LDI.
Well, thank you, Phil, and thank you for doing the net. And following Steve, WA9EIW, was Charlie, KC6FCY. And he was the last person on the list, so I'm going to turn it over to him for his, and then Charlie turn it back to me. So KC6FZY, this is KG6FCT.
Thank you, Lou. I appreciate it.
Yeah, KG6FCT. This is Charlie. KG6FCT. Well, I guess it's the problem here, but it's just the daylight savings time moving us ahead of down. Really, the honor close of there is usually is the regular time, and around 8:30 is the best time for communication down here. So that's what's happening probably. I don't know what's going to happen down the road. Yeah, that's the Kenwood TS440. I have one of those up there too, and I use that to my class does it real well. And the dot problem, that is one of the things. Hello, it's Dwayne's 440. It doesn't seem to be transmitting. I need to get over to his house, and I think it's just an antenna problem or something like that, and I will take care of that. And it's been a good net, and I can understand the confusion that Phil has. I'm sitting here, and I'm confused too, so I try to write everything down. And Lou, you can hand it over to Phil. Tell him I appreciate him running the net too. So KG6FCT, this is KG6FCY here in San Clemente. Over to you.
Happy that, Charlie. So Charlie just finished KC6FZY, and he is in San Clemente. And I will take a turn. It was very interesting hearing everybody. Looking forward again to next Sunday. I sure enjoy the SOARA net and all that SOARA does. They set great examples for clubs. And I'll say my 73s to everybody and turn it over to Dale. W6EDT, this is KG6FCT.
Thank you, Lou, and thanks again, Phil, for running that under difficult conditions. I can hear Charlie weakly, but he's coming in here, but I know you can't hear him at all. The SPR, there was a neutral for a while. We were one of the guys on there. Anyway, 73 all, and I'm going to see if I can head over to 10 meters and make that happen, but I listen out for the rest of the folks. Over to K6 IWM.
Okay, hello again, Dale. I wasn't quite ready for that. I was busy reading something. Okay, so IWM, Mike and Lone Pine. Let's just say 73s to everyone. Thank you, Phil, for running the net. And don't worry about, the phone list. We can work it out one way or the other and give everyone a chance to check in and give a report. So, everyone have a great week, and we'll talk to you all next week. Maybe hear some of you during the week. So, this is K6 IWM, 73s, everyone. Over to you, Chris. KR6 ISS. Take it.
This is JCN. I think Chris signed. Chris, are you still there? Not hearing Chris. This is, I think I came after Chris. This is Jim, N6JCN. And thanks again, Phil, for running the net. Everybody have a great Sunday. And those of you checking in on the 10 meters, have fun with that. I'm going to have to get back to, unfortunately, taxes and that kind of stuff. So, and once again, Steve, one of these years, I will get your call sign correct. But 73 to everybody, and Steve, go ahead and take it.
WA9EIW. I wanted to say 73 to everybody. Thanks for including me. WA9EIW, back to Ness.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. WA9EIW and the group. This is WA6LDI. For some reason, my monitor keeps going out, which it's never done before. Let me kill some of this. Maybe I'm doing too much power here. Yeah, there we go. I just dropped down to 28 watts. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. I'm going to say 73. Thank you all for checking into the net and both dealing with the issues there with the log. So 73. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll look for you again next Sunday. This is WA6LDI Net Control for the South Orange Amateur Radio Association's Sunday morning 40-meter net. The net is now closed, and the frequencies return to normal use. 73 all.
Hey, good morning, guys. N6NBV for a quick hello.
Hey, Steve, N6NBV, WA6LDI. How goes it?
Oh, it goes fine. Mississippi's picking us up here in a few minutes, and we're headed down to Las Cruces there for brunch. And then tomorrow, Ray and I are headed off to Budapest for 12 weeks.
All right. Well, be careful out there. The world is falling apart again.
Yeah, not the places we're going. It'll be our third time there since 2019, and we just got back from Korea and Japan, and those places are wonderful and all that. So we're just getting out and having a good time.
Outstanding. I'll be going to Europe here pretty soon myself, Italy, basically, and looking forward to that. We went out to, let me see, where did we go previously now? With Germany and a few places like that in Europe, and really had a good time. Alrighty, sir. Well, you take care. God bless, and we'll look for you again down the line. N6NBV. WA6LDI.
All right, Phil. Good hearing you, brother. You
take care. MBV. This is KG6FCT. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, Lou. I was hoping to catch you, brother. How you been?
We've been doing good, and it's so good to hear you. How have you been?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. The kids are all good. Marie and I were in Korea for a few months, and we just got back in January and back down here in February, and already we're taking off for Budapest tomorrow for another 12 weeks.
Well, that's wonderful. Really enjoy. And Phyllis's half-brother on his father's side has relatives in Budapest and has been there a couple of times. So interesting. Really enjoy yourself, and I will pass that on to Phyllis.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful place, and
how are the kids?
Oh gosh, we've been there a couple times, but they've got the second largest synagogue in the world next to New York. Big Jewish community, great food out there. The city is very safe. It's clean. It's fun. And gosh, I've got a buddy coming out. We're renting motorcycles, and we're going to ride up to Prague, out to Munich, back through Vienna, and back into Budapest on Harleys.
Wow, that is really something boy, you're really enjoying life, which is so wonderful.
Yeah, I'm taking to this retired stuff pretty good.
Sure sounds good to me. Love to see you one of these days, but our prayers are always with you.
You know, I think that's going to happen in June, because I had to buy another motorcycle down here to replace the one up in Oregon. It was such a deal, and I'll be doing a solo trip, but I'll be riding through sometime in June or July to head back up to Oregon. So we'll have to set something up for sure there, Lou.
That would be wonderful, and we also have a guest room, so if you needed to stop along the way, you're always welcome.
All right, we'll leave that open, brother. Anyways, I got Mississippi pulling through the gates. I'll tell him you said hello as well, and we're going to get out to Las Brisas and have a good time. 7-3 there, Lou. Give Phyllis a hug, and we'll...
7-3, enjoy. And this is KG6FCT.